Alright guys, hello and welcome back to the second episode of Kerbal Space Program on this channel. Now, we're right back where we left off last episode. We've got quite some good funds, got some new stuff researched. Now, I'm not quite sure what I actually want to start doing with this money. I'm going to have a look at mission control, and we've actually got tons of challenges over here. Oh, alright, let's see how many we could, like, potentially do. Focused observational survey of Kerbin. Right. Okay. It's like specific sectors that we need to go to. Now, I don't know, where can I see these sectors, though? Okay. What's this one? We want you to hold a... Okay, so... we don't have this one yet. Well, do we get it? I'm not quite sure, like, if we accept this contract, do we actually get the part to use it? No? Or what? That's a good question. We want you to test the TR-18A stack decoupler splash down at Kerbin. Okay. That does sound quite easy. Doesn't sound like the hardest thing ever. Escape the atmosphere, we already had that one before. Orbit Kerbin, same thing. Mark 16 parachute, we could test that one as well. In flight over Kerbin, which doesn't sound too hard. We want you to test the Flea solid fuel booster on suborbit trajectory over Kerbin. Okay, when are we gonna be in suborbit trajectory though? That's a good question, because like, I'm thinking, guys, the thing is, we could already accept like 4 contracts here, so I'm not quite sure right now if it's gonna be worth actually, like, I'm just trying to figure out right now, guys, what to level up first, because we could level up our mission control right now, but then again, I'm not quite sure how much money it would actually take us to get into orbit. I think the way we're gonna start out, guys, is we're gonna enter the VAB. We're just going to try and create a nice little rocket with newly acquired funds that can actually get us into orbit and allow us to escape the atmosphere. And once we're done with that, we're going to see which contracts we can accept and go on from there. I think we should be fine on stuff like parts limit and weight limit for the time being, but we'll have to see about that one actually. I've got a limit of 30 parts and, well, height, length, width. It doesn't look too bad right now, but we'll see, guys. We'll see about that. So last time I was not sure about the heat shield stuff, guys. I'm still not quite sure, but I think we're just gonna add a heat shield onto here to be like totally sure. There's like no ablator stats on this pod, so I think it's probably not got any heat shields on it. Now what's force percent? That's probably the force with which we are gonna drop the heat shield off. Ablator wise, it does change the cost if we lower the ablator. Now I don't think we need anywhere close to 200. I would place it at like, say 80 for safety's sake. We might need even less, but to be honest, I don't want to kill any of our astronauts right now, especially since I don't think I want to invest in a new one, so we're just going to keep it safe. We also really need the signs and everything, so really need to pay some attention to that. Oh, this one is an ablator. This one is the radiator panel. Dissipate heat. Cools parts. Okay. No, well, we're gonna carry on by just putting a nice little parachute in here. So this is one we're supposedly testing, and I think that's a good idea, because we're gonna have to place it on that rocket anyways. So it's like already more than 2 contracts. It's probably best leveling up mission control first. Now we're gonna add a stack decoupler on here for the first. Okay, now we've got to detach that manually. We're gonna add a stack decoupler on there. I don't need any service bays. I need to start out with some fuel tanks, which we've only got the small ones right now, so I'll add a few on there. I'm not quite sure what's actually going to get us into orbit, guys, to be honest. I've not played this game in the wild, so I actually need to check that out. I think I'm going to go with about that size for the main rocket. Doesn't look too shabby, does it? Actually, I think... Wait, did we have that? No, we didn't have the radial decouplers yet, so I'm going to stick with that, because I actually need to add some more length to that rocket, and I don't really want anything bad to be happening. So let's see, I'm gonna add a solid fuel boost. Like, honestly guys, I'm really not sure we're gonna make it into orbit with this rocket. We're probably just gonna make it into atmosphere, so that's what we're gonna try for first. Maybe we'll make full orbit. I'm kinda doubting that, to be honest. Now, what else do we have? I do want some basic fins right here, just to try and get some extra stability. I'm gonna add 4 on there this time, just to create as much stability as we can, and add another 4 down there, just to be like really sure. We don't have any SAS, so we can't really make that rocket too big anyways. We've got a landing strut already, which is interesting because we don't really need it at all right now. Other than that, we do have a communitron, which I really want to add on here, because that means we can transmit the crew reports and the EVA reports, which is going to help us out tremendously, I think. Other than that, let's see. I want to turn on symmetry mode right here. So, well, not symmetry. Yeah, symmetry mode. That's what it is. Gonna put the antenna right there, and I am gonna get some science modules. So we've got the mystery goo containment units yet again. Now I've got to think, we had one tested flight over Kerbal, but we didn't have high altitude over Kerbal, we didn't have space, so we're gonna take 2 again, I think, and we're just gonna place them right there, which is gonna cover up our flag a little bit. Oh, that lets me think of something right there, guys. Let me save the spacecraft real quick, and I actually did something really nice. I figured out how to add my own little flag to the game, and it should be somewhere in here already if I can find it. There it is. So we've now actually got our proper logo and our proper flags with us. So if we turn around here, it's not there. If we look there, it's not there either. What the hell, did I not confirm it? I must have not confirmed it. I'm so good at this game, guys. I'm so good at it. Except, do we have it now? I really hope we do. Same old flag, what the... Oh, come on, what the hell am I doing wrong right now, guys? Can I not change the career mode flag afterwards? Here's the flag, here's the double click. Here's the flag, there's the double click. I'm just gonna do like 3 times, I don't know. Except, and just double click on it again. Hope that everything's safe, did it? It's down there, I see it right there. That's my flag right there. Black and blue. But if I go back into the VAB, we've got the wrong... Oh, we can change the mission flag as well, I guess. Okay, so we can give different missions different flags, I guess? That's not too bad. Okay, so we've got my flag over there, finally! And we've got it right there on the pod as well, if I do manage to zoom in. That's the way to zoom in. Right here is our flag as well, a little bit covered up by the mystery goo unit, but you get the point. Now, other than that, what else do we need? We do need some science modules, which... I'm not sure what the thermometer does. it is rerunnable. Okay. Collectible data, and it's resettable. I'm not sure if you actually get 100% out of that science though if you transmit it. This one's not rerunnable, I know that. That one's rerunnable as well. We're just gonna go with one of these for the time being. If we're gonna need more, we're just gonna add up onto that on the next slide. Now, one thing I'm kind of a bit concerned about is heat, because I don't really want my mystery goo containment units to die. I'm not sure, how do these radiators work? Like, is that what they're supposed to do, or? Radiator panel small. I don't think so. I'm really not sure what the purpose of these radiator panels is, guys. I'll need to find that out. Now let's check if the staging set perfectly. We've got our solid fuel booster there. We've got that one. Yeah, that's all good. Alright, well, we've got the mission rocket done already, basically. Let me see though. What are we gonna call this ship? I'm not gonna call it Leroy Jenkins this time. I don't really have any clue what the hell am I gonna call this ship. We're just gonna call it Jeb's Joyride. Because, well, let's hope he's gonna have some fun in there. Crew-wise, as I pretty much spoil it already, we're gonna go with Jeb. We can still not take any scientists with us, so Bill and Bob will need to stay home. Which, well, one of them is a mechanic, but you get the point. Other than that, we've got everything set up for the rocket, I think. Let me check if we got, like, yeah, we're still within the parts limit. Wow. Okay, so the thing is, guys, we didn't reach any height, width, or length limits yet, so we aren't going to have to upgrade the VAB too soon. But the parts count actually indicates that we will have... No, wait. We will have to upgrade the VAB, but we don't have to upgrade the launch pad? I'll have to check that right here. Oh, we've actually got a design checklist down there. That's cool. What's that about? Ah, right, okay. Unused more, yeah. Does this engine not generate any electric charge as well? Wait. I thought the liquid engine actually generates charge. Engine thrust. ISP. Or no, output at full power, 6 a second. Alright. So I don't know what that message is about. Alright, so we've got the rocket. I'm just gonna save it again because I'm not quite sure I did it yet. And right now we're gonna head over and see it first. Alright, so we are gonna have to upgrade the VAB quite soon, and holy shit, that's quite expensive, to be honest. Then again, we're getting milestones and everything as well, so I'm thinking we're probably gonna be able to gain that money soon. Now, I do really want to take the accept the escape the atmosphere one right there. I think that's totally reachable probably with that rocket. 70,000 meters. I think we should make that. We can only take one more if we don't upgrade the complex, and I'm really not sure if I do want to or not. Orbit Kerbin is a harder achievement. I'm not quite sure we can actually make that. Probably we don't. Like, no. I'm thinking about it. We're probably not going to be able to take that one. Now, test the Mark 16 parachute and flight over Kerbin is something we can definitely take. We're definitely going to use that one. We've got it on our rocket. Now, this one, I think we could probably do on a separate flight, because it says test it while splashed down. So we could probably just set down the pod and put a stack decoupler on it, activate it, and that mission's done. So it's not really like any huge kind of mission or whatever. It's something we can do separately. Now, the solid fuel booster, I'm not sure if we actually have to own that part or if we're going to get it for that mission. I don't think it says anything in there either. Oh, I'm really sorry, guys, that was not intended. But have the RT-10 hammer solid fuel booster. I'm not sure if that means I need to own it, or if that means I need to have it on that rocket while completing that objective. So we're not going to take that one. And these surveys, I'll have to see how to actually get to these sectors. I'm not sure how to see. Let me see. So I've got my actives right here. I'm not going to upgrade this one for the time being. I'm going to save my money for the time being actually as well, because I do think we're going to have to upgrade the VAB quite soon, and we're probably going to need our money for that one. I do want to have a look at the tracking station. Maybe I see over here about the sectors and everything. Okay, so the contracts are basically being shown on here. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna, like, potentially we're gonna just upgrade the mission control before the VAB and do a separate mission, just try and fly our rockets across all these points, which might prove quite difficult. We'll see about that. But the way it is right now, I think we're just going to keep it like this. We've got our rocket done. That was kind of a load and lag. We've got our rocket done. We've got our contracts accepted. The rocket's actually not that expensive yet again. It's only like 8,400 bucks. We can definitely do that. Let's just do a last check. I've got my parachutes. I've not zoomed in properly to see everything. I've got all my scientific things. I've got my antenna so I can transmit data. I've got liquid fuel. I've got solid fuel. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take this one to the launch pad, see if it can actually get us into the atmosphere. I really hope so. I could have probably put another solid fuel booster on there, thinking of it, but I'm kind of a little worried that, like, firstly, without any launch clamps, this rocket might tilt over, and secondly, that it might get quite jiggly while it actually flies if I do like too long of a rocket right now. I'm not quite sure, so we're just going to keep it like this. Now we've got Jeb down here again. Our throttle doesn't really matter that much for the time being. I'm going to get it quite low though, so well, that liquid fuel engine is not going to start at like max power. We're going to turn the SAS on, and actually I do really, no, I'm not going to get a screenshot of this one, not for the time being. Just have a little look there. Hello Moon. We're going to come and have a look at your little craters and everything really soon, hopefully. Now, SAS is on, everything's ready, so, well, let's launch in 3, 2, 1, and launch. Now, the solid fuel booster is probably going to be quick as hell once again. It's probably way too strong for our payload right now. But I already chose the larger one, so it would at least last a little longer than the last one, which doesn't last as long as I actually anticipated. This might not get us into orbit, guys, I think. And I forgot to do like tons of things right here. So while we're actually just flying a little bit up, I'm not going to start the turn right now. I think we did this observation of the mystery goo already. We're going to toggle the display. No, we're going to log the pressure data. Okay, so this loses data while transmitting, so we're not going to transmit any right now. We're just going to keep the experiment of the barometer, and we are going to do the same thing for the thermometer. Now, I'm not sure, did we actually do a crew report up here? We didn't. Alright, we're going to do that and transmit the data right now, which is going to get... it's going to use electric charge, but that's actually not too terrible. Wait, what? Did I transmit it? Transmit. Oh, no, usable in-range... What? Oh, okay. Deployment would destroy part. Okay, that's something new. Oh, right, okay, so the drag is actually a factor by now. I did my orbit injection turn a little late. That's a bad part, I guess? But whatever. We're still fine. We're probably going to get up to into space at the very least. Seriously, we're probably not going to make orbit, guys, but that's totally fine. Now, other than that, everything looks good so far. Is this, like, high? No, I don't want to override it, but, like, observe the mystery goo? Upper atmosphere. Alright, we didn't get this one yet. I can't do another crew report up here, unfortunately, guys, because I can't extend my antenna right now, so I'm actually not able to transmit my data. Which, well, sad face. But what are we going to do? Now, engine's actually going to run out really soon, which is not too convenient, especially since we don't have much electric charge. So I'm gonna see where our apoapsis is right now. Okay, we're definitely gonna make it out of the atmosphere, which is a nice part. I'm gonna spare the last bit of liquid fuel to actually like run the engine again when I'm actually transmitting data, so I can get another bit of electric charge generated by that engine. Other than that, rocket worked quite fine. I didn't actually expect to get us quite that far up when it stood on the launch pad. Like, I was actually doubting a bit we would get up into space, but as you guys see, we are up in space. So I'm gonna stop talking real quick. I'm gonna extend the antenna real quick while we can, and we're gonna not crew report. We're gonna review the report and transmit our data. Now that's gonna drain our charge like hell. That's why we are going to actually get our engines running again in the hopes of being able to transmit another set of data. That's actually not quite enough. Okay. Now we're gonna retract the antenna again. In that case, we're gonna have Jeb EVA for the first time in orbit, which is gonna be quite a nice thing as well, isn't it? Let's do it really. What? Oh, what? Okay. I actually not know that one. So we do need to upgrade our astronaut complex to actually be able to EVA while in space. Damn. If I would have known that, I would have actually upgraded that complex, because this disables us from getting EVA data, which I don't really like. That's a bad part about that one. I really didn't see that coming. So we're not going to be able to get some science from EVAing. But what we can actually do is we can do another crew report up here, because we transmitted the first one. Crew report while in space near Kerbal. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Yep, that's true. So we're gonna keep that experiment, and we're gonna just evaluate it once we're down there. I'm gonna turn the SAS off real quick so we don't actually drain. We keep draining electric charge. Okay, that's interesting and might be quite scary. I'm like hoping we're not gonna be losing too much power so we can still activate everything and control everything. It's kind of important. Does our SAS actually drain additional power or not? It doesn't look too... Oh no, the reaction wheels are running and idle, so I think I might actually influence that. Now, one thing I did actually notice, guys, is that I accidentally forgot to put parachutes on my parts, guys. So I'm not going to be able to retrieve any of them. Now, this part of the rocket, I know it's just going to burn up, but I could have put a parachute on the solid fuel booster in order to actually be able to retrieve it and get some money back from it. So that's definitely something we're going to do in the future. Now, I did just put the rocket, just turn the rocket around so we're actually aligned with our retrograde marker right here. And other than that, let's just enjoy space for a second. Just have a look at Kerbal, see what it's like. Looks really cool down there. So right now I'm not able to exit my spacecraft, which is quite sad, but we're gonna do that next flight definitely, guys, which is hopefully gonna get us into orbit as well. Other than that, I did not observe my mystery goo up here. Whew. Alright, got that science as well, 10 science, that's really sweet. Did I do everything now? Yeah, I kept all the data from these ones. Wait, I can... Oh no, that was a review, but if I log it... No, okay. So... Oh, I think the barometer is actually not working in space either, so whatever. Because there's like no pressure. Maybe it does work and just tell you, oh, there's no pressure here, who knows. But as we are entering the atmosphere again, I'm just going to align ourselves with the retrograde marker again, and I am going to go ahead and jettison this part of the rocket real quick. It is probably just going to end up burning up in the atmosphere while we get down safely. So yeah, as I said, there would be no use in actually putting a parachute on that part because it's just going to explode while entering the atmosphere. We have, on the other hand, fortunately got a heat shield, which I'm going to monitor really closely to actually figure out, guys, how low we can go with the ablator. Because the less ablator we actually put on this heat shield, the less we have to pay for the heat shield as well. Because obviously it does use less material, which is advantageous for us. Now, other than that, okay, this one didn't heat up very much at all. We didn't. Okay, so it barely using ablator. Basically, we could just put it down to like all the way 10 or whatever. That's gonna save us some more. I'm not sure, guys, how much money we're gonna get back from the ablator once we actually like recover it. I think it's probably gonna be worth less. So if we put less on there in the first place, it's actually gonna save us some money on the rocket, which is always a nice thing, because after all, this is career mode. We need to save some money and actually be able to make some money from our flights as well, not just build the biggest and fanciest rockets without any purpose, or which are just too expensive to actually fulfill the goals we needed to fulfill. Other than that, everything survived, nothing exploded, which is a really nice part. So we got all our data with us. Jeb is pretty much safe. I'm just gonna go ahead and deploy our parachute up there, which is gonna be inflating very soon, and I can now turn off SAS as well due to that parachute creating us some nice drag. Alright, we're gonna splash down there nice and smooth into the water. I don't think I do want to jettison. Do I want to jettison my heat shield, guys? Is there like any use in that? I don't think so. Like, I'm not sure. Like, is anything bad gonna happen if I jettison it? Because what I'm thinking is, if I keep it, I might be able to get some money back from the ablator that remains on it. If I don't keep it, it might just fly into the water and explode on impact, so I'm not gonna get any money back because I can't actually retrieve it anymore. I think I'm just gonna risk it and keep it, and just keep my mouse on the jettison heat shield button in case anything goes really wrong and really bad. But I think right now it looks quite fine. Yeah, we just splashed down, we're totally fine. That looks quite funny as well. Other than that, everything went totally okay. Let's have a look what we actually did this flight. So why did we not test the Mark 16 parachute and flight over Kerbal? Like, what? Like, I inflated the parachute between 1,000 and 5,000 meters. I was flying, and I had a speed between 160 and 220 meters, right, guys? I'm not sure what that's actually about. Did we actually not fulfill our mission? I must have done something wrong, but I'm honestly not sure what it is. I'm gonna have to see after I'm done with the recording, guys, but that's actually quite puzzling to me. I thought we did everything alright. Whatever, let's go ahead and recover the vessel, see what we actually got from this mission. Now, I do think we did get quite some signs, which is really nice. Other than that, well, let's see. We did earn 46 signs, I think, is probably the summary of that. I'm still not sure what the data is about. I don't know, guys, no clue. So if anybody of you does have a clue what this other science slash data thing is about, leave me a comment down below. I would really appreciate to know that. Now, parts wise, we did get some money back for the heat shield that survived, so it's a good thing we kept that one. Got some money for the parachute and everything, and the ablator. Yeah, we only got 35 funds back, so I think that's half or even less than half the value. Yeah, that's like definitely less than the value we actually paid for it in the first part, so using less ablator is a good thing. And we've got 280,000 funds. Okay, that's a nice thing. Now let's click next, and we've got Jeb ready for the next assignment. He didn't gain any experience, which is quite interesting because we actually got into orbit. Not into orbit, but into space. I guess that doesn't do anything. Alright. So let's say done with that, and now let's actually have a look at our achievement list, wherever that one is. Because I guess we got quite a few, and we didn't complete this contract, guys. I don't have any clue how we did that, but we did not manage to complete the contract right now. Now, we got some achievements. Well, this one's the contract, so we got money for that. What did I do? Okay. And we escaped the atmosphere, which got us another 32,000 bucks. We've broken an altitude record and all the tons of records. We've reached into space, broken a land distance record, and we splashed into the ocean. Okay, so that's like tons of milestones that we got money for, and we're actually at 280,000 funds right now, which is a really nice part. Now, the astronaut complex only costs 75,000 to upgrade, but the VAB costs 225,000, so that's gonna be a difficult choice. But first off, we're gonna go into R&D, and we actually got 71.4 science, which is really good and really nice. I definitely want to research stability because that gives me the radial decoupler, which is gonna help out tremendously in building rockets, because we've got that height limit on the launch pad, so we can't go too far with that. Other than that, we could research this one, which is going to give us some more stuff, such as struts and launch stability enhancers, which does help out quite a bit as well. But I don't think we need that quite that much right now. Airplanes, we're going to go for that later on. Flight control is going to give us the winglets and the SAS, which is helpful. I'm going to have to see about that. This one gives us batteries, which is... oh, that's like so important if we want to go into orbit. This one just gives us some more. Alright, we are going to go with the basic science definitely, because I do want these batteries for actually trying to get into orbit, and it actually gets us an experiment storage unit. Okay, I didn't see that one yet. So we can store the science in here, which is really useful. I'm not quite sure how that one works. We'll figure it out. We got some more radiator panels. We got a high gain antenna, which is really nice. And we got a science tuner, which is going to give us even more science. That's a nice part. We're not going to be able to research this one, but we're going to go for the more advanced rocketry parts later. This one we're going to definitely need to get to the moon, so it's definitely on my list as well, but we're going to go for that stuff in a later episode. Now, other than that, I want to have a quick look, guys. I want to really have a quick look just at what this... where is it? Science, 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 science. I want to have a quick look at what this experiment storage unit does. I'm just going to stick it right there real quick. Nothing I can click, so apparently I guess that's just something we can store some experiments in so we can do, or experiments data in so we can do those experiments again. We've got that service base, so I guess we can use it for that. We'll see about that. We will see about that later. Don't save that one. Now, what we are actually going to upgrade, guys, if it's going to be the astronaut complex and the VAB, I think that's going to be quite a difficult choice, but we will see about that one in the next episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We finally got into space. I hope you had some great fun, guys. If you did, please feel free to leave a like. Leave me a comment down below, especially about the data thing, please. And, well, if you like this channel, if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Other than that, guys, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you next time.